Bring it up here in just a moment. So let's let this build for a little moment. Let's let it build for a little moment. Just in case you can't hear me, I got the mask on. I'm gonna take it off in a moment, but I got the mask on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's let that play for a second. Yes, sir. And we're going to cut it right there. Again, like I said, man, I'm your host, Daily Night Rider. Some of you know me as Can I Live, K-A-N-I-L-I-B, or Daily Night Rider, spelled the way it sounds. And just want to welcome you guys to our Friday night We Outside podcast. We running this show. We shine a light on everybody who want the light shine on them. And tonight, we got a dope one for you guys. We got a young, talented racer from the IE, one of our own, young finest. Not only is she a racer, she rides out in the streets as well with some of the clubs. I mean, you can catch her outside, man. She's dope, young, only 16 years old. 16 years old. She got her whole life ahead of her, man, to still blow it up. And she's already blowing it up on the scene now. So, again, who I'm talking about, name is Kylie. We got Kylie, the Monster BMX, outside tonight. So we're going to cue her up, man. We're going to jump right into this thing. Let me get it queued up. And we're going to call her and invite her on. And we're going to chit-chat for a little bit here. So let's see. Kylie, let's get you on. So, again. And cut that out. Kylie, let's get you, Kylie. Bam, give me a moment while I cue it up. Bam, we're going to invite. Let's do it. We want you. And there
What
she
up,
is.
what up?
What's up? She's in the building tonight, everybody. I got my race helmet on. I hope this is good enough. I know it's not like yours, but there it is.
I was about to say, we're looking all professional here.
Yeah. This is my little race helmet. But I snowboard in this one, so that's why I got this one. But it's extremely hot right now, so I'm gonna take it off. Give me 1 second for the transition. Bam, and we are back. Yes, sir. There we go.
We're in the hat. I get that.
Much better. I feel a lot cooler. I know I can be heard a little bit better now. So we just gonna shed a little light on you, talk about what it is that you do. We're gonna get into how you do it and what do you like about it, all the things that make you you.
Perfect.
Cool. I see you got wet paint in the back. Shout out to Wet Paint. I see him on the wall.
He did this painting. It says I can't, but it's cash crossing out the can't. So
I remember when he did that
on a daily.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Wet Paint Larry. He was on last week. I don't know if you caught it. It was a dope episode.
Yes. I loved his podcast.
Yes. So, yeah, man. So with no further ado, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and tell the people exactly who you are. Go ahead and go.
All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kylie Martin. I ride BMX. I've been riding for about 6 years now. Frequently at the ride out scenes. That's kind of been my gig lately, but I do race BMX and I'm constantly there about 3 times a week. And on top of that, I do freestyle as well.
Okay, so what exactly is freestyle for those that don't know? Because I don't know too much.
So freestyle, so basically you have the racing part of it, which is where you're on the track. And then freestyle can range from the skate parks to just even riding street and coming up with your own lines like that. So street and freestyle is more of like the creative side of it, whereas like the track, we're given the speed and you go out there and you show your talent.
Gotcha. So is there a favorite for you at this point, or are you just like, I like it all?
I like it all. There's so many different aspects in each of the categories that I couldn't even like try and compare them.
Yeah, I bet. And now, do you ride on, let's get the size of bikes that you ride on. So what size bikes are you riding?
So my race frame's a 20-inch, and then my park bike or my volume, that'll be a 21.75, and then for my ride-out bike, it's a 29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then back in the day, I used to run cruisers, so that was a 24-inch for racing.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when you out in the streets, you on the 29er.
Yeah, I'll switch between the 29 Throne or my volume.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So not only are you the 20-inch rider, you're riding the 29, so you can get them all.
Yeah, dude, you gotta have the variety with it.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. I like the variety. Okay. And then, so you said you started, how old were you when you started racing? You said 6 years ago, right?
Yeah, 6 years ago, so I was 10. I was 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? For those that are like, just like, kind of walk me into your experience, and for people that are young that are like, man, I want to get into racing, but I don't know who, where, why, what, when, where, all that good stuff. Kind of tell them how you got started, and what your advice is for them if they want to get started.
Yeah, so when I was younger, like as soon as I could walk, my parents threw me on a dirt bike and I was like putting around on a little 50. So they all thought that like I was going to become like this dirt bike rider, all that. And then I just kind of like grew apart from that and I started doing horseback riding. Then I
Okay.
was like, horseback riding isn't really my fit. And then so from there, I went to road biking because I was still like drawn to the two wheels aspect of it. Went
Hmm.
to road biking and I was like, this really isn't my thing. And then a BMX track popped up and I was like, oh, let's go see. And at first I was like, I wasn't really that interested. And then one of our friends was like, no, I really think you should like rethink about it. Like, I think you should go out there and try it. I tried it. First lap, I fell in love. I was like, this is it.
Nice, nice. So as soon as you got on, you knew.
Yeah, as soon as I rode down that hill for the first time, granted I ate crap, but I was like, I would rather eat crap in this than anything else.
Right, right. Okay. And then, so at that age, how did they go about you getting into like racing and stuff like that? Like, where did you go, or is there like a sign up or anything like that?
Yeah, so at the track that I was riding at, they have like you can do a 1 day, so I did the 1 day just to kind of feel it out. And then
Hmm.
after that, you could sign up for your membership for the year, and that gives you
Oh,
entry
okay.
like that allows you to go and race and do all that stuff. So
Okay.
I signed up for the membership and then I just like started doing practices at first because I really like wasn't into racing yet. I didn't want to compete.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of times, one of the locals there were like, hey, I really think you should try to race. And I raced and I just like started doing it more. And
Yeah.
as that became like routine, I just eventually a team picked me up. And then from there, the rest is history.
Nice. Okay. So when you got picked up with your team, or is it the same team that you were on when you got picked up?
No, actually, that was my first team. And then I've only been on two teams the whole time I've been racing. So that was
Okay.
my first team. And now I'm on Fast House.
Oh, you're okay. So, okay, I saw your. Okay, so we're gonna get into that in 1 second. I was gonna talk about the sponsors and all that good stuff. Well,
Yeah.
we talk about it now. Let's talk about it now. So, with your sponsors, you have, is it three or is it four?
Honestly, it's more than four.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, who do you have? Who do you have?
So for my sponsors, bike related, I have Fast House, that's for gear.
Hmm.
Daylight would be my bike frame.
Right.
Maxxis for tires, and then
Gotcha.
Bell helmets and Havoc both sponsor me to
Okay.
make sure that I'm fitted with that stuff. And then on top of that, I have Sentis for the grips. Box BMX will kind of shoot me some stuff here and there. They give me support and things like that. So
Oh, so you got everybody.
yeah, and that's just on the bike side. That's just
Okay,
yeah.
so you got some more as well.
Yeah, I have a Bulletproof has been a really big sponsor for me in terms of like they give me the race fuel and stuff beforehand. That way I
Yeah.
have like some good snacks when I'm at the track and things like that to share with all the other racers.
Yeah.
And then I know that there's some local businesses in Redlands who have been supporting me as well.
You are hooked up. You're tapped in all the way. I mean,
I'm
man.
so blessed with all these
Yeah.
people. It's insane to like I know 10-year-old me like looking at it and be like, you have all these sponsors just from riding your bike. Like I know she'd be
Right. 16 year. I mean, and 16, right? You're 16.
yeah, 16 turning 17 in December.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, 16 years old. You got all these sponsors on lock. Like, man. I
Yeah.
mean, if nothing else happens, and say you quit tomorrow, you can look back and say, man, like I did all that. I got all these sponsors. Like, you know what I mean? So for you, like, kudos to you, because it's like the sky is the limit for you. You know?
Yeah, and that I really hope that like the younger kids, like you had said earlier, who are looking to get into it, can like see the potential that's here and like what's
Right.
waiting for them.
Right. That's why I wanted you to kind of touch on that, because I mean I ride in the streets all the time and I always see kids. they're more worried about like wheeling and all this other stuff. And there's more to and more things that they can get into besides just that. So it's good for them to know I can also get into racing. Like if you're a fast wheelier, like you'll be good maybe on the track. Like it doesn't hurt to give it a shot, you know?
Yeah, and
you
even
never know where it could go.
yeah, and even if they aren't into really the speed part of it, like you can throw the style in there and you can do all of that stuff within it. Like you don't have to just be there to be the fastest rider. Like you can be a great role model. You can show the kids like, look at this diversity, look at me hitting these jumps, all of these things.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when you get out there, what tracks? Well, you don't have to name like each one, but are they close by, or are you like out of state traveling? Are you where are you going with your the track so far?
So my local track is Grand Prix BMX. Grand Prix. I say Prix just because that's like how I say it into the Siri when like we're getting the directions. Just that's how I did it for so long. But that's my local track. That's 45 minutes away.
Okay.
It honestly goes by way faster. Like you don't even realize it. And then outside of that, like if I want to go to other tracks, Bellflower BMX is a good one. That's like hour and a half away ish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you travel outside the states and things as well.
Okay. And then have you done like some of the races? All right. So I guess what I want to know personally is just, are you hitting like big jumps out there? Are they, you know, like I don't know what they call them. We call them moguls, like on when you snowboard and stuff like that, the humps and stuff like that.
Yeah. So for us, we'll call that the rhythm. We call that the rhythm, or just rollers.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's not a fancy name like that. It's just rollers, or you call them the rhythm?
Yeah, so the rhythm will be like the collection of the rollers. So that's where like all of it.
Yeah, okay, I didn't
just
know
a
that.
whole straight full of it. So you have like the entire track length will just be those rollers. That's where you get like most of your speed usually if you're a good pumper.
Okay, so those rollers are designed for you to pick up the speed?
Yeah, so you can, there's the cool thing with the rhythm too, why a lot of the riders like draw to that section more so, is because you can either do manuals, you can jump between the rollers, you can straight up just pump it. Like either way, you're usually going to gain more speed in that section.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I seen this. I saw somebody racing, and I was like, is the pump track only for pump?
Okay, so.
Like, are you allowed to actually, like, really pedal? Like, are you just kind of roll it the whole way without pedaling?
You can pedal. Like, it depends, like, what the event is. For the Temecula pump track event that I had done just recently, they give you a certain amount where you can get up to speed for, in terms of like you can pedal up to that point. But generally on a pump track, it's meant to kind of, it's designed so that you don't have to pedal. If you pump even like enough, a little kid can get around it. Like one of my younger, like I call them siblings just because I'm with them so much.
Yeah.
But one of the younger kids that I hang out with, she's 5, I believe, and she can get around it without pedaling. So. Okay,
see, that's what I thought. I watch a lot of you know, Big Cheeseburger?
Yes. So, yeah. I literally just raced Jason on Wednesday. I was at the track with him, riding with him and his wife. We were all in a race together.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay. So I watch a lot of his races, and then it dawned on me, it kind of hit me, and I was like, maybe they call it a pump track because you just pump, because I never saw him like full on pedaling on that particular track. He was just kind of pumping along, and I was like, okay. I had no idea. Okay. So certain styles track certain style of riding on those tracks as well. It's not just full on race on every single track. Like each track is its own entity, particular. I guess.
It's always a race when you got more than one person there, but
No,
there's definitely, each track definitely has its own like things to work on there and their own competitions for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna take 1 second because I like to kind of jump in the comments to see if anybody's got any questions in there. Anybody got any questions for Kylie out here in the comments? Let's see. Just kind of skimming through real quick. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you got some compliments in there. Yep. Okay, well, hey, if anybody does have any questions that you guys want to ask, please pop them up in the comments. I will most definitely catch it, and we will ask and get it moving just like that. So let's see. Scrolling through. Wow, somebody's in Indonesia. Wow, nice.
Thank
Okay.
you for the support.
Right, right. Indonesia. My goodness, it's like daytime over there. Okay.
Literally.
And I just want to make sure I scroll through. Okay. Box comments for the win, right? Okay, so that was my next thing I want to get into on the components. So I know you say you ride the daylight bike. So all your components are boxed, like on your cranks and sprockets, everything like that, or
No. So for the only things that I have box related on my bike, so I have the brake system, the bars, the stem, and then the the forks. Sorry, I totally blanked just now. I was thinking so far ahead about the cranks and all of that.
yeah. Do you ride like, or what size cranks are you riding on your bike right now?
I run a 175.
Okay, so that's like a standard, right? Standard size of 175.
Yeah, I would say 175 to like 170 is usually pretty common.
Yeah, pretty standard. Okay, all right. And how do you like them? You like the box? How do they work out? Because I'm thinking about getting a set of box. So I'm like, I've been seeing them. I like how wide they are. You know, for the box cranks. I like the thickness on them, and I like how they just say box down the side. I think that's pretty cool.
So
So I've been thinking about getting some.
I personally have never ran the box components for cranks, just
Hmm.
because for the daylights are kind of sized a little bit different than the other bike frames.
Hmm.
So when we went to put the box cranks on, because I had bought a set and I was like, this is what I'm running because I love the same thing. I loved how it said box down the side. But when we went to put them on, they just weren't the right size, which is why I went with the Avians. But
Oh, okay.
as far as like for the other box components, I recommend. I think that they're really well.
Okay, okay. And then, far as like, are the brakes box as well? Are you running their brakes?
Yeah, and on my race bike, I actually run box system brakes.
Okay. Which box are you running? You're running the threes?
Um, that I'm not sure about. I feel like it was twos. Don't quote me on it though. I
Okay.
feel like it was like V2, but I'm not sure. I could
I
be
had a
confused on
pair. I had a pair of box. I think they were. If okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I think their numbers are box. I always get this backwards. And box one is like their highest, and then box three is their highest. I couldn't remember which way it was going, but I know I had. I think they were box threes, if I'm not mistaken. But they were good. Like they were really really good. So I'm looking forward to getting. I just bought a Chicago Ripper 29er, so I'm thinking about putting box all on that bike. So I want
Okay.
to do the box cranks. I want to do box brakes,
Yeah.
and look and see what other box components I can squeeze on there. So that's why I was asking about the box stuff because I'm looking to do something with that right about now.
Yeah, I
So
get
all right, so I'm gonna jump into this comment because I see one right here. Somebody, a fan, wants to know what's the worst injury you've gotten so far. Mm.
the worst injury. If we're talking physical, I would say I had to get 5 stitches in my chin right
Ooh.
here.
What happened?
So I was riding through the rhythm section in 2019 at a state race, and my chain, it was mechanical error. I sent my bike off to the mechanic, and when he brought it back, he hadn't tightened the chain correctly, and I hadn't noticed. So
Hmm.
I was riding through the rhythm, and all of a sudden, it was a pop, and then next thing I know, I was face planted like on the floor,
Oh, wow.
and it was the first like bad crash I had really had. So like I was kind of on the floor, and I freaked myself out too much because I couldn't breathe. I knocked the air out of myself.
Yeah.
So I ended up knocking myself out, and I was out for like 2 minutes.
Oh my.
And then I had like woken up, like I was coming to and from, but like each time that I woke up, there were like more people around me. So then I started like freaking out a little bit more.
Oh
And
my.
then next thing I know, they were like trying to get my helmet off. And when they took my helmet off, it was just like full of blood. And then I was like in a puddle of my own blood.
Oh man.
So they had like limped me over to the table, and all the parents had left actually. And it's really funny because this is like the highlight of it. All the parents had left because everyone was trying to get me like ice packs and stuff. And
Yeah.
it was me and my friend's little sister. She was like, I would say she's 8 at the time. We're sitting there and she's like, you have a second mouth. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, look. And she pulls out like this little phone that like she was given, and she's like, look at your chin. And I'm like, okay. And like I took the phone, the whole thing was cut, and I was like, no.
Oh my. Woo.
It was horrible.
Man.
I was in the urgent care till like probably 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man, yeah. I know that pain oh so well.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I grew up on dirt bikes. Me and my brother, we had little 3-wheel trikes that we used to race when I was like 5. So from like 5 to like 9 or 10, I was racing these little 3-wheel quads, I guess they were called. So we were racing these little quads, and my first accident was the worst one. I turned the corner too sharp, and I rolled over it, and my brother was directly behind me, and he rolled over me, and the little thing landed on my butt, and that's where the motor was, and it burned all the way through my pants and just like burnt the hell out of me. So that was my first like bad accident right there. And then my second one, I had to have stitches in my tongue. So I had about a size of like a nickel that was cut out in my tongue because I had bit it so hard. So I was riding, and I think it was like a little jump, and when I came down, I hit the handlebar thing and bit my tongue, and I bit like a corner out, and it was like the size of like a nickel. The piece of the tongue came out, so I had to get rushed to the ER, and they had to put it back in and sew it around. So yeah, I got some injuries. As I got older, I was on a dirt bike, a bigger one. I think it was like a 125 or something like that. Yeah. And I was doing a wheelie down the street, and I just gassed it too much, fell back, and somehow, some way, my shoelace got caught on the little pedal, and I kind of got dragged for like a second. Yeah. And burnt like a hole in my elbow. And so, yeah, I needed stitches for that one. So, but I've never broken any bones, but those are my war stories on dirt bikes and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, it was all bad, but enough about me. So we got that out, and then so we got another question in here. It says, do you think that you will stick to BMX, or you'll go back to dirt bikes?
I think I'll stick to BMX. Yeah. The dirt bike part of it, like, it's cool, but I know for me personally, like, that would be a lot for me to like have to remember all the mechanics, and like for me, I just gotta go out there and I gotta pedal, and like it's already so drilled into my mind what to do that like it would be hard for me to relearn something else. Yeah. You found your passion at a young age, so you're like, I'm staying here. Hearing the horror stories of like being burnt and stuff, I don't think I could do that. So I don't that's kind of the reason why I got off of it. I was like, I'm getting too injured out here, and I was young. And then just when I was growing up, there really wasn't like a big BMX like racing scene that we knew of. So it was just like what happened in the neighborhood and stuff like that. So, but I'm glad that we're back on it. So let's see here. I think we asked already. I don't know if I did ask, but do you have a favorite track so far? A favorite track to ride on that's like your ultimate favorite track? Yeah, Grand Prix. The Grand Prix? Yeah, Paris is my favorite by far. Why is that? There's honestly just like, that's my second family at this point. And honestly, the track, it has a lot of diversity with its straights and things. So I know like if I need to work on my manuals, I can go to a specific straight and it'll help me do that. So when I'm doing my full laps, I feel like I'm really just improving as a rider each time, because you have to learn something new each time. Right. You know what? Just real quick, because I have one coming to my mind when you were talking about crashes and falls and stuff like that. I noticed I saw it on, I think, a couple of videos that I watched. When you do take like a fall, you're very graceful, like with the fall. Like I saw a video where you had fallen, and then you got up and you did like a whole bow, and you remember that one? I know exactly what you're talking about. It was a mudslide that day, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. What tell us about that? What happened on that one? How'd you get in the mud? I saw you came up like a little jump, and the bike just went this way, and you went that way, and I was like, wait, what happened?
So, backstory, we're in Utah. A lot of people had ended up flaking out that weekend because of the rain.
Oh,
And
okay.
none of us knew it was going to rain. We were all like, yeah, everyone always says it's going to rain, and then it never rains at races. Like, that's always been the thing.
Yeah.
So, we're all like hanging out, and it's like clear skies, everything. And then all of a sudden, we're like, oh, it's getting kind of dark. That's weird. Then it just starts pouring. And keep in mind, this is right after, like, this is right as they announced that second round needs to go to stage, and I was in second round because I messed up on my first round. So I was like,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm going to get the extra practice. We're solid. It's all good. Like, I'm trying to be positive. And then it just starts pouring as I'm, like, getting my gear ready to go up for my second round. So I'm like, okay, this isn't, like, ideal because with the metal and the tires, if you go to do a gate, you're putting down so much force that your whole tire would slip.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm in the gate and I'm like, okay, just don't put down that much force. And obviously I did too much. So then like I slipped, which is why I was in third going into that jump. And just I went to go take another pedal and it was just a whole like mud puddle there. So my whole back wheel just slipped out as I was going up the front. And that's just when it went like all the way inside and I was doing a scrub over the jump. I was like, oh, this isn't the right sport.
So I take it you've had those days where you're like, you know what, I'm done with this, and then like you get up the next morning like, all right, let's get back on it.
Yeah, that happens to every rider though. I feel like we've all kind of everyone has sort of a bad crash and they're just like, you know what, I'm done, I'm over the injuries, and then you kind of just eventually find your way back.
Okay.
I think longest I've gone with staying off of my race bike now has been, I'd say, a week. I think after a week I start like I'm like thinking about it, and then by the 2 week mark, if I haven't even like been on it at all to even just ride around, I'm like losing my mind.
That's the love for it. That's the love for it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, where do you see yourself? Like, say, like in the next 5 years. Like, what do you see?
I'll
Or what would
definitely
you
be
like
doing.
to see?
I would like to have seen myself win a couple titles. I definitely am looking for next season and even the season after that. Within those 2 years, I definitely want to see some major improvement on my end in terms of just there's like a race of champions. That's just one day, like it's one race where all of these people who are the top of the state will all go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you race, and like that's it. The whole day you're just racing.
Mm.
And if you win, only one person will get like the plate, and it's a red plate, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay.
definitely one of my immediate goals, though, is to get a rock plate.
Nice, nice. Okay, so you got some goals set. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Okay, and let's see. And then let's talk about bike life, like just outside of racing, just when you're at home. And you stay in Redlands, right? In that area?
Yeah, I'm usually always in Redlands. If I'm not in Redlands, then I'm out racing usually.
Okay, okay. So when you're out there riding, who do you ride with the most?
I'd say usually like if I'm not riding solo, I'll usually be on a ride out with Barcata or heavy hitters generally.
Nice, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I want to say I saw you last Tuesday. Did I? Were you out riding last Tuesday?
Yeah, I was at the Outsiders ride last Tuesday.
Okay, so I did see you. Okay,
Yes.
I wasn't for sure because I saw you and I was like, I think that's her. And then I asked Superman, and then I think we were at like the mall shopping center or something like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, we started riding some more, and I was looking, I was like, wait, she's gone, like she disappeared. So I think you guys had dipped out from that other location where we were at, because you guys probably passed by your house. But I was trying to say what's up after I realized it was you. I was like, I should introduce myself since I'm going to be talking to her anyways. And then I looked, I was like, she's that fast. Like, she got out that fast. Like, she's gone.
I wanted to stop by and show the support for sure because you guys were at Redlands, so I was like, I need to make sure that I come and I stop by. So that was definitely like top priority of the day was stopping by and making sure I showed the support.
Shout out to Barcada as well. Yes, sir. And then let's talk about bike life a little bit more. So out in the street, you're riding. It's not the same as like full on racing, you know, like what you normally do. So it's more just like cruising. Well, what is it more for you? Is it just like, you know, I don't know. Is there like a certain thing like you just enjoy about just being out in bike life, period? Or
Yeah, I definitely like, for sure, it's like a reset for me when I'm able to just go out at night and kind of like cruise around the streets, and like obviously you're like in the streets a lot the whole time and it's
yeah,
nighttime, so like there's just a different vibe to like being
yeah,
outside and being supported by all these people who like, and it's a big family too. So
yeah.
I've definitely enjoyed getting to like hear all these people's stories and hear their tips and things like that.
Right, right. I like that.
Everyone has good input, so
Yeah.
feedback. I take it.
All right, all right. So let's see. I'm gonna scroll through some comments again, see if anybody's got any questions out here. Let's see. Let's see. I see. There's so many comments going on in here. Okay, I got to that one already. That was talking about BMX versus dirt bikes. Got that. Let's scroll all the way down. Let's see. Let's see. Again, guys, if you guys got comments or you want to say something to Kylie, please tap in. We are taking questions at this point. And I think everybody's just enjoying listening because a lot of the listeners are more like bike life is not like a big race scene. So they're just like taking it all in, like, okay, like finding out what exactly is going on here.
Yeah, a lot of my racers are at a national right now in Texas, so they're fast
Oh,
asleep,
okay.
and I'd hope they are. I was like,
Right,
that was,
right. You're like, you got a race tomorrow. You better
yeah.
get to bed.
When I knew it was at 9 o'clock, I was like, I really hope that, like, obviously I love when like my race family joins and things like that, but
Mhm.
I need them to do good at that national tomorrow. So I was like, I hope they're
Right.
all sleeping by now, especially with the time difference.
Right. And then, so where is your next race? Do you know where your next race or when your next race is gonna be?
Yeah, my next race is gonna be next Saturday. So I leave Friday morning to Bakersfield, and I'm gonna
Ooh.
go run a national on Saturday and Sunday, and then come back home Sunday night.
Okay, okay. So you guys hear that? Somebody had asked in the comments when was the next race. So the next race is coming up very shortly. It's going to be in Bakersfield. So for everybody that's up there in Bakersfield, go and check it out. Where exactly is it at again? National?
It'll be at Metro BMX.
Metro BMX. You guys hear that? So all our followers, all of our listeners, if you're up in the Bakersfield area, go and check her out. Go pull up and show the love, show the support. She's one of us. So go out there and check her out. Watch her get down. So,
And for those of you who aren't going to be in Bakersfield or even out of state and who are just tuning in, I do end up posting a live stream on my bio because they'll have the live stream for the entire day. So if you're interested in BMX and kind of like want to get a feel for it, or even just you enjoy watching the racing, I will have that live stream posted in my bio.
Nice, nice. So how do you divide? Because I know you race, you get out on bike life scenes, but I know you got like just regular life where you're like, I want to go to the mall, I want to go and do this. Does it ever come a time where there's like a conflict where you're like, I'm really, or is your discipline like, no, we're racing, everything else is on the side until I'm done?
It's usually that I'm racing. For me, like, I enjoy going to the school things and stuff like that, but at the same point, like, with my racing friends and people like that, I know that when we're out at the nationals and things, that'll make up for those sort of events that I'll be missing.
Oh, okay. So,
like tomorrow's my homecoming, but I'm gonna be at a race in the morning, just at a local race, and then I'm gonna end up going to a ride out later in the day to show support for the Race Inc. ride.
Right. Okay. See, so for all those youngsters out there that think like, I really wanna, you're passionate about something, or you really want to do something, you got to put in the time. Like, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the effort, you got to be willing to sacrifice. or it's not going to happen. I mean, you heard it from her mouth. So if you're not willing to put in the time, put in the effort, then you cannot be mad at the results, basically.
Yeah, and
Right?
you can balance it out and things like that, but a lot of the times what happens is people are like, oh, I'm gonna balance it, and that means I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go not do what I need to be doing for 5 out of 7 days of the week, but those 2 days I'm really gonna be grinding and I'm really gonna be like showing the sport. Like, that's not how it works. Like,
Right.
it should, if anything, it's like you have your one rest day and that's where you can go do what you want to do, but there's always time to do the things that you want to have like accomplished. There's always time to work it out into your schedule and do all that. So that's why like the phrase "must be nice" like really gets to me when people are like, oh, it must be nice that you're going on a podcast, like it must be nice that you're getting to travel and all those things. Like, yeah, it's great that I have those people that support me and things like that, and it's great that my parents support this, but at the same point, like, they wouldn't be taking me if they didn't know I wasn't putting in the work. Like, they know that I'm at the gym 3 times a week. They know I'm at the track 3 times a week. They know I'm on the ride outs and I'm on a bike every day. Like, it is nice for those reasons because you are putting in the work. Like, that's where you'll see that divide in the people who want it and the people who say that they want it.
Exactly. She dropping bars out here on y'all.
Yes.
Talk that talk, Kylie. Talk that talk. Let them know. I was just about to say, for those that say that, like, oh, it must be nice, and tell them, yeah, it must be nice that I'm also putting in the work. Like, it must be nice that I'm actually out here getting it done. So, yeah, don't be mad at me. Just come join me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they need to hear that.
I don't have these bags for nothing, guys. Come on.
Right. Talk that talk. I see Wet Paint Larry jumped in. Okay, I see you, Wet Paint. All right.
Hey, Wet Paint.
Yeah.
I got your bottom of my mixer. All the races, you be with me.
Right. Cash cow. Okay, and then so we got a question here again. How many races have you done in 1 week?
In 1 week? Like, do we mean national-wise or do we mean... Because national-wise, like for Grands, I know, for Grands, it's all Thanksgiving weekend. So I get there on Tuesday night. I'll practice Wednesday. Thursday will be 1 set, so that'll be like 2 races max on that day. Friday will be another 3, so that's 5, just with like that, because you'll have first round, second round, and then last year I had 8ths, quarters, semis, and then I didn't make the main. Ooh. But so you'll have those races, and then the next day you have the same thing. It all repeats. Oh. So the max amount of laps that I could do technically at a national, given if I had 8ths and went second round and made mains, I would do 12 races.
In 12 races in 2 days?
12 races in 4 days.
Okay, all right, that's better. Yes. I was like, my goodness.
But in general, usually you'll do maybe, on average, I would say at nationals and things, I'll usually have only semis lately. So I'll go first round, second round, and then semis. So then you would do 4 races max per day. Okay. Yeah, somebody said, non-chicken legs over here. That's right. Yeah, facts.
No chicken legs over here.
Never skip leg day, guys.
Right, man. So, I had leg day today in the gym, and I had an injury on my left leg some months back. So my right leg is like my strongest right now. So I'm trying to build the left leg back up, but it's just not working. But yeah, leg day is something else, man. I was doing squats. Never fun.
You ever do the Russian deadlifts, like with 2 dumbbells?
No, what's that? How do you?
Those will kill you. So you get like 2 like dumbbells, and you'll do a deadlift, but it's holding those 2 dumbbells.
Oh.
I don't know why, but those hurt so much more the next day than normal deadlifts do. I swear.
I'm still having a hard time on the little stair machine. Just walking the stairs. I never knew. Like, I see women predominantly on that little stair machine, and they do it so easily. Just go down, they throw a leg up, and they step. I was on there for about 10 minutes, and I was like, literally, like, gonna cry. Like,
it's all about the playlist. If you have a good playlist, like, it's impossible.
Yeah, that too. And I lost my Dre Beats like about a week and a half ago. So now I go to the gym and I don't have nothing. So I'm just
I would cry too at that point.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them, or I'm like, at this point I might have to go get another set. But so yeah. Oh man, let's see. Who else got some questions out there? I think we already answered that. How does Okay, well, you know what? We didn't answer that. Let's get into the training aspect. We heard how much you train, but what exactly do you have to do for a race? What is the training preparation like?
So you have the mental and you have the physical side of it. So for physical wise, I'll go into the gym, and the gym has kind of altered a lot of my workouts because I go to Vengeance in Redlands. It's
Okay.
right by Don's and everything. Like, I don't know if you know where that is,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Don's? Oh yeah.
yeah. So Don's Bicycles is right there, and then next to it is Vengeance. So they're like a CrossFit gym. So I'll go in
Okay.
there, and my coach has been really good with me. He's always making like separate workout plans for me and things like that.
Okay.
So I'll usually do like the CrossFit competition like workouts in the gym because that's usually what they have for the day there. So I'll do those. Like yesterday, for example, it was upper body and lower body. So it's just an hour of like your going. So it's good cardio too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll do those. And then when I'm at the track, my training partners have been really good there too. They make me do the full laps. They make me work on the bike skill, all of that. So we'll do that 3 times a week for both. And then you have the mental side of it where it's like I'll have people help me with my mental, just like helping me get confident for a race, making sure that like I'm fully there going into the race.
Right.
And then I have like strategies there so that I can be confident and comfortable in staging so that like anxiety doesn't creep up and things like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. A big part of it is like visualizing it and just like knowing like, yeah, I deserve to be at this race. Like, I'm confident, I'm fast, like I know what I'm doing, I have the skill to be here, and
Right.
that's that.
Right. Right. They're building you up for success.
Yeah.
That's right. So somebody did ask that about your regiment. So there it is, you guys. She said the regiment. She said how many days a week she's out there, how much she's riding. So yeah, man, is it possible to go to the track after before hours? I'm not understanding that question, but we got a question. Let's see. I'm gonna read it slowly so I can try to understand it. Is it possible to go to the track after before hours?
Oh, like after or before hours?
Is that what that means?
I think so. I'm
So
assuming they
does that
got
mean like when the track is actually closed?
Yeah, so for us usually like with Paris, we'll get there before a little bit just so that we're like there on time and things. We ride the track once it opens, and then sometimes we'll go like a couple minutes over just if there are new people there, we don't want to stress them out with like us jumping next to them or things like that. Like we don't want to scare them.
Right.
So after they've left fully, then we'll start and like work on specific things. Like I know for me, a lot of the accomplishments that I've had have been 5 minutes after the track has technically been like closed, just because no one's there. So like it'll just be me and my training partner, and we're just going back to back until I can get it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is, yeah. So yeah, to answer that question, I hope we did.
Yeah. I'm hoping that's what they meant. If they didn't,
I hope so.
Please
too.
clarify.
I can understand exactly what that meant, but I'm hoping that's what he was talking about, like racing before you get there or whatnot. Quick question right here from Wet Paint. Do you ever race in San Diego? Recently, Wet Paint just moved out that way, so you may want to come check you out. So you
Yes,
race out there ever?
I do be racing in San Diego. I actually just did state finals there about a month ago, I want to say.
Okay, so you hear that, Wet Paint?
I'll be there soon, probably. I'll probably be making my appearance after Bakersfield up there.
All right. Do you post them like if somebody is following you and they want to know, okay, where's the next race at? You know, do you ever like post it on your story or anything like that for somebody to kind of get that information or to follow?
Yeah, so usually I'll post when I'm going out to the race. Leading up to the race, sometimes I'll post like, oh, it's race week, because that's something that's like done within like all of the BMXers. Like, right. I don't even know how it started, but somehow it started where everyone posts it's race week, or like I heard it's race week, just something along the lines involving race and week. Yeah, so I'll post that, but a lot of the times I like to kind of just go low key and do a race and not tell anyone like where I'm going until I'm actually there. Right. Yeah. Just to stay kind of like incognito a little bit, bring some surprise when I show up for everyone.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you guys hear that? So, you know, just as long as you guys are following her, you can get those updates. And if you guys got any questions, drop her a little line in the chat and DM, and you know, you can get more information, I'm sure,
Yeah, my line is always open. I try to respond to all the messages and things like that. Sometimes if it goes to my request inbox and I don't get the notification right away, it'll take me a couple days, but I do generally get back to all the messages and things like that.
Yeah. And we got, oh, look at this is nice. Somebody wrote, "You're such an inspiration. They love you, Kylie. They hope to meet you one day." That's from L905. So that's cool, man. You got it. Do you feel like what's the word I'm looking for? Not no. Hold on. What's the word? I was one of my questions. Hold on, let me go back to it. Do you feel like a hold on. I got it right here. Bam, bam, bam. Like I'm trying to find the word that I wrote. Let's see. There we go. Like a role model. There it is.
Yeah, role model. I was gonna say that's on the sheet.
I draw blanks. I'm getting old. So, yeah. Do you see yourself like as a role model? From what you talked about, I know you do, but I'll let you speak on it. But you see yourself like as a role model to like the younger, even to the older.
Yeah, short answer, yes.
Yeah.
I do definitely see that, and I do feel all the love. I've been doing clinics and stuff since I was about either 12 or 13. So literally, like as soon as I had turned expert and had joined Fast House, I had started helping out at my local track and doing clinics and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like over time, the little kids kind of just like they start flocking to you after you start going to the nationals, and like they start seeing you race. And especially with last season I took a lot of hits and I went down a lot. Just a lot of the crashes, like week after week almost. Like I fell every month last year, I believe. And they weren't easy falls. So a big thing going into this season was a lot of the parents being like, we appreciate how you get back up and like how you don't throw your bike afterward and you don't take off your helmet and get all angry. Like we like how you do the bows and things like that.
Yeah.
I remember even last year I went down and I started doing push-ups like as I was still clipped into my bike. Like I try to do the little things like that because it's like obviously everybody has a different pain level and things like that. And obviously like the younger kids aren't going as fast, but they can still take like that pain in however way that they want. Like for them, it's the end of the world if they slide out in the turn. Right. But it's kind of like showing them like you don't need to get worked up afterward. Like just get back up and shake it off and do that. When I stay down, that's how you know it's a bad crash. Like that's genuinely when people are like, she's dead, and like they're freaking out.
No, I like that. I like that answer, and that is good to put out there because I've seen some races where like not just in BMX, but in other sports as well, when they fall, like they're tearing up everything around them. They're breaking stuff, and you're like, man, like it's gonna be okay. But I understand that frustration as well. But
they'll take it back to their pits though too. Like I've watched kids who are older than I am. Like I've watched full-on adults get off of their bike and throw their helmet and then walk back to their pit, which is like right in front where everyone can see, and they throw their bike down and they throw a fit, and it's not going to change the result. It's not going to change the fact that you fell. Like you're just damaging yourself more at that point.
Right.
Like,
and the sponsors are probably the sponsors are watching like, okay, so you're just going to beat up our stuff. All right.
Literally, so they're like, how much worse is this going to get?
Yeah. Now, all right, so back to the sponsor stuff real fast. I know you said Fast House. Shout out to Fast House. Daylight, shout out to Daylight as well. Havoc as well, shout out. Box, shout out. Now, when you get a sponsorship, how does that process work? Like, do they invite you down to like the office of Box or the Fast House office and you meet everybody and they like welcome you, or is it just like purely online? Like you talk through communication and stuff just starts showing up at the house? Like how does that process work?
So a lot of it generally is the online option. It's a lot of the time the product will get shipped to me and things like that. However, I have visited the Fast House warehouse a couple of times now, and it's honestly, it's amazing. It's like a unmatched type of feeling when you can just walk in and they're like, yeah, here's a shirt and here's a jersey and like here you're set for your national. Like I do appreciate that a lot, but it's also cool when it's like, I remember the first time that I got a package from a sponsor and like I opened it up, my dad was like, I didn't order this. And I was like, what do you mean you didn't order it? And he's like, they just sent it to you. And I was like, cool. So that's always a good feeling too.
That's dope.
Yeah.
One day I'll get that type of treatment. No, probably not.
Hey, it's possible for anyone, man.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's true. I think I'm like I'm kind of like I'm a dad now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm not really like pushing for it, but I mean if it comes, it comes. But I'm mainly trying to push my kids, kind of like how your parents are pushing you and
yeah.
supporting you. I'm kind of like everything I do is mainly for them. You know what I mean? I go out and ride with my son. You probably saw my son. He had the biggest afro out there riding. So
I feel like I did.
you
Yeah.
probably saw him. It was like bright orange, yellowish looking color, brownish looking color.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, so that's my son.
Okay.
Just turned 17. So like he actually got me into bike life. When pandemic started and stuff like that, kids got tired of just sitting in the house. So we started just doing things on our own. We're like backcountry on like a mountain high and hiking the mountains and sliding down in the snow and stuff like that. I mean, it was fun. It was kind of like, it was an old TV show, like The Last Man on Earth, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So we were kind of just like out there, I remember I rode my bike across the freeway. There was nobody on the freeway. So I was just like riding my bike and swerving back and forth on the freeway by myself. Like it was just fun. So my son actually talked me into getting my first 29er. And then I ended up selling it and I saw this red and gold, like shiny bike at one of our local bike shops hanging up, and it was a Fast Ripper. It was the red one.
Okay.
And I was like, I heard like the music playing in the background. So I was like, all right, I got to have that bike. So I ended up buying that bike. And then it was a 10-speed. So I was like, oh, this is cool. It's got all these gears, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm set. So my son was doing some digging. Then he found out that people were still doing these big ride-outs.
Yeah.
And we went to one on a Thursday, and it was a 41 Thursday ride in LA. So we get out there and, we start riding with these guys and, we're like 30 minutes in. We're like, this is so cool. Then we're like an hour in. We're like, all right, this is cool. Then like hour and a half, we're like, man, like we're still riding. Then 2 hours and we're like, bruh, like what is going on?
And you don't even realize it like on the ride outs because there's just always so much going on and there's like so much to always be looking at that you're like, well, what do you mean it's 10 o'clock? Like we just started at 6.
Yeah.
Like
we did so much riding. I was like, I'm never coming back to this. I am done. But, he pushed me and we just been going nonstop ever since then. So it was crazy. So yeah. So let's see real fast. I just want to poke my head back into the comments. I keep looking this way because I got my laptop in front of me and I can see the comments, all of them over here. So I don't want you to think I'm not listening.
No,
I'm like going back and forth.
My
like,
side's been frozen with like everything since the first like 3 minutes. So mine stopped it. I don't even know where, but it's okay.
You know what? Somebody
in the comments.
Yeah, somebody is asking, is your bike close by? They want to see if they can see it, but I don't. If it's not close by, don't worry about it.
It's in the garage right now. So
there it is, you guys. The bike is put away, but the bike is on her page. If you guys ever want to see the bike that she rides, just check out her page. It's all over the place.
Yeah, I posted on my story too. It's me riding the bike through the rhythm section. So it's like front and center pretty much of the bike. So
right, and
that's
it's
too.
Daylight.
Yeah,
so it's Daylight real big. And then your other bike says volume on it, right?
Yeah, volume.
Okay.
It's the Bill Perry edition, just because it's that Robin Egg blue. So I was like, I need.
Yeah. Both of your bikes, the colors are pretty similar.
Yep. That's what my plan is for the ride out bike too. Heavy Hitters is doing their frame, so I'm hopping on that bandwagon and I'm getting one.
Okay.
So soon to be, guys, you're gonna see me running a Robin Blue Egg Beauty.
Ooh, okay. Make sure you guys check that out because I know the Heavy Hitters, they're called the Heavy Hitters for a reason. I mean, their bikes, man. One of our riders, JP, he won first place with his Robinson. Yes, he won first place at the last heavy hitters bike contest.
Yeah, at
bike show. What do they call it?
I believe that don't quote me on this, but I just know it was like a bike show for
bike show, bike competition. I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but I know it was the Heavy Hitters who put it on. and
Yes.
and he actually won first place. So shout out to JP. I know he's in the comments here. And let's see, we got any other comments out here in the any other questions in the comments? Anybody? Shoot.
I feel like
Again,
they're kind of
somebody.
shy.
Yeah, I think people just don't know what to ask you, and we're covering a lot of the questions already. I mean, there's questions in here, but I'm skipping over the ones that we've already asked
Yeah.
and the ones that I see doubles on. And let's see. Okay, somebody does backflips, front flips, all that good stuff. We already covered. You can't see the bike; it's in the garage, but check out her page. Check out the page, and let's see. Okay. If you guys are ever in the Redlands area and you hit an Outsiders ride or you hit a Barcadas ride, she may be there. I'm not going to, somebody wants to know if they can go to like a ride out with you specifically, but we ain't got that kind of information. Just when you see her, you see her. Okay?
Yeah,
If you see her, you see
usually
her.
I follow the same schedule pretty much. I'm with Barcata on Thursdays, and when Outsiders does their rides out here, I'm here, and anything with Redlands, usually I show up and I try to represent for, because
That's right.
Redlands, I got to, it's home.
That's right. That's right. So y'all see that? When you see her, you see her, and pull up and talk to her nice. Don't be all weird when you pull up, okay? Just pull up, talk to her nice.
Please don't be all like stalkerish and things like that.
Right.
Like, I'm a normal person.
Right.
Please
right.
don't be like all weird about it when you see me in person, because I've had that happen a few times, and you're memorable, but like kind of weird.
Hey, and you're quick. So if the conversation is going left, you just pew, take off on the bike.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm like, oh, look over there, and I just run.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll see you later.
You know what? Speaking of that, all right. So I heard that you had raced Superman.
He told me this was gonna get brought up.
Yes, I need to know. I need to know the details, because when I asked him, he was like, I'm not gonna say. I said, well, who won? And he was like, I'm not gonna say, but just ask her. So I just need to hear it from you. What happened? Give me the scoop.
All right, so it was the Friday before the skate park event that just happened recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was the GT Ride Out, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all scoping out the loop. It was us. Superman was there. There was Empire, Heavy Hitters. There was and then there was 3 other bike group leaders that were there.
Yep.
So we're on the ride out.
Bruising. Uh-huh.
Yes. So we're on the ride out, and we're going down this long street, and you can't see the end, so it's a pretty long street. And we're all just riding, and Superman comes up to me, and he's like, hey, I don't know if you know me, but I want to introduce myself. I'm Superman, because we'd only crossed in passing before, hadn't fully done the introduction, things like that.
Yeah.
So he goes, yeah, you're the girl that races. I think that's dope. I think that it's cool what you're doing. I really appreciate that. And I was like, cool, thank you. That means a lot. So we're just small talking and things. And someone comes up and they're like, wait, you race? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're like, oh man, you're going to have to race. You're going to have to race me. And I'm like, all right, get on a 20 and I'll race you. So they're like, okay. And then next thing I know, 2 minutes goes by, Superman and this other guy come rolling up on 20 inches, and I'm like, oh, we're actually racing right now. And I don't run away from competition. I'm very much all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll give you guys a head start. So someone counts it down.
Oh my God.
And I give them 2 seconds, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And I just start sprinting. So I caught both of them, and then I kept going even further. So I was 2 times ahead down from where everyone else was. And I'm just cruising, just waiting for everyone. And Superman and his friend come rolling up, and they're like, we found Superman's kryptonite. Oh my gosh. At the next stop, Superman was like, I don't know how you sprint that fast. He's like, I'm so tired. He's dying. God. Everyone on the ride out's laughing. It was hilarious. But that's the street race story, if anyone asks.
Oh my God.
Or anyone wanted to know.
Oh my God. So Superman got dusted out there. Hey, I wouldn't expect anything less. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Hey,
Oh
I heard we're
man.
having a round two at the next race though.
Oh
So
really?
not next race, next ride out. Sorry, race is on the mind now.
Oh okay, okay. So you willing to give them a round two?
Yep, that's for
Um,
everyone who's on the ride out with the 20-inch. Let's go,
ooh,
everyone.
okay. Kylie is with the smoke. She is with the smoke for sure. So hey, you guys, you heard it right there. If you
You heard
pull
it
up
from me
on her,
myself.
if you pull up on her on the 20-inch, now is it just they got to be on the 20-inch or any bike?
If I'm running my 29, I'll race you on a 29. But
Ooh.
I noticed racing a 29 against a 20-inch doesn't usually end up well. So
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot heavier, and I don't know. The 20-inch is a whole lot lighter, and majority of the 20 inches already are kind of built for racing already.
yep,
Versus the 29ers, I mean, some of them have got these super small little sprockets on them. Takes forever, and then you lose your pedal after so
yep.
many revolutions, like right away. So yeah,
And it's less excuses too. Like straight up, we're both on 20 inches. Let's go.
right, right, man. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? Don't pull up on her unless you ready, because she got something for you. Now, when you're out there racing, back to racing real quick. But when you're out there racing, is there is it co-ed, or is it just like you race only with the girls, or do they ever put like co-ed races together?
Yeah, so when I had started, everyone starts out as a novice. So novice is both girls and boys for that age group.
Okay.
And then you'll go to intermediate, which is still mixed, but the girls, so in novice, you only need 10 wins to bump up for both genders.
Okay.
And then when you go to intermediate, the boys need 20 wins to go to expert, and the girls need 10 wins to go to expert.
Okay.
So it'll take girls 20 wins total to move up to the expert level. Then once you're at expert, it's only girls. And then once
Okay.
you're at expert for boys, it's only boys.
Oh, okay. Now,
But
is there an age group?
yeah, so for me, for boys, they'll stay single aged all the way up until 16. So they'll stay 16 and then 17, 20 is their age class.
Okay.
For girls, we have 15, 16. So those two are combined. And then you have 17, 20, which are combined. Then you have 21, 25, and so on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, I'm always going to be in a mixed class now from
Okay.
here on up.
Okay. All right. Now, is there like someone out there that you're like, you know what? I got my eye on this person. I've been wanting to race this person, or either they got me a couple times and I'm ready for that rematch, like in the race world. Is there, or
Honestly,
you don't want to put that information out there? I mean, you can tell me. It's fine.
I have my eye on everyone. I have my eye on the whole class. I'm not trying to underestimate anyone or overestimate anyone. So to me, everyone's kind of on an even playing field. I have respect for everyone. So we're just
Okay.
gonna have to wait and see until the next race and
Right.
figure it all out there.
Okay. I like that. Let's see if we got any more good questions over here in the comments. What's your inspiration in the race scene?
Okay, this one's kind of a hard one. I don't really have like any big role models in the race scene. Like there are some people who I look up to in the way that they've marketed themselves. Like Carolyn Buchanan's a big one. She was a BMX racer and then she slowly entered into the downhill and mountain bike scene. But in the process, she had advertised herself so well that she ended up getting a car sponsor. Boost Mobile sponsors her, and just a couple other like bigger brand names. So that would definitely be someone in like the business aspect of it that I look up to a lot. But racing wise, I kind of just stay in my own lane, and
Yeah.
I'm looking like forward to what I look like in later on.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, when you hear about like some of the sponsorships, like you say, Boost and I'm like, man, like as far as I know, they don't have anything to do with racing, but you know what I mean? They still will do sponsorship. So that's cool that a lot of outside, entities are actually taking in this interest to sponsor different riders and stuff like that and boost it up even bigger. That's good.
Yeah. And for the female athletes too, like we have a lot more of, not necessarily a leverage, but a leverage because there are less of us in the sport. So
Right.
whether it be for a commercial or photos or an advertisement, anything like that, like I've been in a commercial in the past where they just wanted me to walk by with a bike.
Oh
Like
wow.
they just want to see someone who fits like that sort of like image in their mind. Like when you hear a BMX girl, like they want to dress you like that and they want you to look that part,
Yeah.
but they want you to be involved with it. Like they want you to know like, oh, this is how I hold a bike, and like you're not foreign to it. So
Yeah.
for like sponsorships like Boost and Mercedes and things like that, like Mercedes, all that they want is they want to see you loading up your bike into their car on their roof rack and then going and driving off in the distance. Like you never really have to ride in a lot of these ads. They just want to see you with the bike and associated with it.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm gonna touch on 2 or 3 more questions, and then I think that'll be it on the comments there. So, somebody was just asking, like, how do you overcome like adversity or on your race rides, if there are any?
Adversity, like issues.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
guess so. Like,
I'm having a brain
overcome.
fart. We had PSATs this
Yeah,
week, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm
Like,
dead.
say, I don't know, something was difficult on like a track that you had before, and then, or maybe that kind of, I don't know, kind of gave you like doubt, I guess, on that particular track, or I don't know, any type of adversity, I guess.
So when I was transitioning, because I fixed, not fixed, I changed my home tracks between last year and like now. So
Hmm.
I've been at my home track now, like what I consider home, for almost a year now. But
Oh, okay.
in that process, it was right when I joined. It was I was like getting used to it and things like that. And the bike skill is something that I lacked on like really badly. So one of the main things with getting over that is just you have to kind of make sacrifices in terms of like I'm not working on my gates or my first straight so that I can go and work on the bike skill.
Yeah.
So like you definitely feel like I'm not putting in all the work that I need to be putting in, but it's really just like you have to slow it down and you have to kind of just take a deep breath and be like,
Okay.
okay, we have to figure out A, B, C, and D before we can go back and work on the other things that we already know how to do.
Right, right. And then I think one of my questions that I had sent was, far as like racing or even just in bike life, are there any changes, if any, or any improvements or likes that you would like to see in bike life or in even in racing?
So the bike life one's simple. I want to see more girls out there.
Right.
I feel like we're missing a lot of the girl scene. I don't know if it's just because they're not interested or if it's just because they're intimidating. So for
Mm.
any of the girls who are watching this, just come out, come try it. Like you're not gonna regret it. Everyone's really nice. Everyone's really inclusive. Like it's a
Right.
very family scene. Even if you don't know the people, like
Hmm.
everybody will take you under their wing. Like everyone cares for everyone, and that's for anyone who's interested in bike life even. And then for racing, I would say like the mental health aspect of it lacks a lot. And I would say like just the perspective overall. Like I know I've gone to races before and a girl has gotten like she's been broke off right in front of me and she's
Hmm.
literally been in the medic tent and they're like, "Oh, you're concussed." And they're like, "You cannot race the rest of the weekend." And she'll go and change out her jersey and roll back up and be like, "Oh, I'm good to race. Like they cleared me. Like I'm a different rider."
Oh
And
God.
then she'll try to go and like bang bars again.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things like I don't think that racers understand like there's more to life than racing. So
Hmm.
it's like if you just need to take off the 1 week or whatever so that you can be cleared, then go be cleared. But like
Right.
don't be
Right.
sneaking around and like risking your whole life just so you can run
Right.
this one moto. Like it is not worth it.
I
And
mean,
then
it just seemed like it would be so obvious. Like
dude,
you
it
just got
literally
injured,
is like
you had like a whole scar on your face, and then you go and change your jersey, and you come back out like I'm ready, and they're
for
like,
real.
wait a
And they're
minute.
like they're covered in blood. They're still spitting up blood. And they're like drop the gate. And it's like no, no, we're not doing that.
Oh my God.
Did your tooth just fall out? Like no. But no, a lot of the riders like because they go out and they do those things. Like a lot of them end up going through rider burnout too, which like they
Yeah.
want nothing to do with the sport. And then they want to come back in a couple months and they're just so far delayed. And it's
Yeah.
like it's so like you want to be able to prevent it, but like as a rider, you can't do that. Like you can only prevent it for yourself.
Right.
So I know for me, like going back to the adversity issue, like one thing for me is like I have had to slow down a lot in terms of just I was getting hurt way too much and I was putting way too much on the line so consistently that it was just I was making stupid mistakes. Like, and I have the date right here because it was a really big fall. May 1st, I had like a really bad crash because I had ended up not pulling a manual where I needed to pull a manual at. So when you do that, if you go into it and you don't pull the manual correctly or at all, you'll nose bonk into like a roller. And when you nose bonk, you automatically go like this.
Right.
And since the triple was so high up, I'd ended up catapulting up and I was above where the turn was. So people all the way on the other side of the track could see me going up in the air and then just falling. And so it was a full-on front flip, but it was straight to my head, which thankfully Bell sponsors me and they're a really good helmet company. So I wasn't like I wasn't as messed up in the head as I could have been. And like, I didn't break anything, thank goodness. But when I landed, one of the things that had happened is I go through a mental checklist, like as soon as I hit the floor. And one of those things is, can I move my hands and can I move my legs?
Right.
So when I fell, I went to go move my hands and I couldn't move. And I was like genuinely like terrified. Cause like you always hear those stories of like, oh, someone gets paralyzed when they fall like that far.
Right.
So I remember I was like, okay, I can't move my hands. Like, that's fun. I'm probably just like I'm probably laying on them, like whatever. And then when I went to go move my legs, I couldn't move my legs either. So I don't know whether if it was just shock from like impact in the moment or what it was, but I ended up like freaking out and I still had my goggles on. So they thought I was knocked out. So I was like on the floor, just trying to focus on my breathing when they had finally like taken the bike. Cause I was tangled up in the bike with my legs too.
Oh.
So they had to like unclip me from the bike and then take the bike off and things like that. But I still got up and raced the race the next lap.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it was like I was taking it easy, but if you were to go down again, like you could have gotten seriously way more hurt because my knee was swollen to the point where like I could barely take off my race pants.
Yeah.
My belt buckle on my pants was broken. That was like a tongue twister. And then my helmet was like cracked.
Yeah.
So to crack a helmet's pretty bad in general. But then especially to crack like a bell, because the bells take like the impacts from the motorcycle side.
Right.
So to crack a bell on asphalt and fall half on asphalt, like it's bad. And I think that a big part of it is that as a racer, like we kind of look at it like it's this race or we lose everything because it's like so much is on the line every time and you don't want to let everyone down. That when you're kind of going, you're like, oh, like I'm not taking care of myself.
Right.
And I think that's something that the race scene needs to look at as a whole and be like, no, we need to put ourselves above the sponsors and above all that. Like our health comes first before these contracts.
Right.
And as the sponsors, you don't want to see your rider get hurt anyways. But for the riders, like we don't look at it that way because we're very like, no, we need to go out and we need to prove ourselves. And it's like, that's not how it should be. And I think that needs to be stressed more in the race scene rather than like, oh, look at these people getting these titles. Like, no, like you need to be focused on making sure that your health comes first.
Right. I mean, because you really can't do your best if you're not 100, you know? So
exactly.
like,
you're going to
consistently race at 100. Get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Do you know if the Bell helmets that you guys use, are they DOT certified or?
Yeah, the Bell helmets that I use, I won't run a helmet if I know that it's not safe. Like, it doesn't matter if a helmet brand came up to me and was like, we'll give you free helmets for the rest of your life or anything even close to that. Like, they could offer to fly me across the country, and I wouldn't take that deal if I knew it wasn't going to protect me.
Yeah.
Because with Bell, even, I know that I can ride that helmet, and there have been kids who have been riding helmets that weren't Bell, and they've ended up seizing up on the track, and it's gotten very bad. There have been people who've had to be gurneyed out and things like that because they weren't wearing the correct helmet. So for me, I trust my life with Bell, guaranteed.
Nice. I'm gonna have to double check I think mine is because I wear a helmet. I wear ProTech.
Okay, ProTech's a good one. That's
Yeah,
what I run for
I wear
street.
ProTech a lot, and then my other helmet is this helmet when I'm on the snow, but I don't know if it's Dot or what. It doesn't. It might be MIPS. I'm not for sure, but this one's a Ruroc. So
Okay.
yeah, shout out to Ruroc. So yeah, I rock the Ruroc. I wear the ProTech, and then I also wear the Berm helmets. So I have 3 of those helmets as well. Um, the audio and the MIPS and the summer helmet as well. So I rock those 3 helmets so far. So if there's any other Bell, come holler at me. You know, I can use Bell helmet too. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, most definitely safety first. I tell that to a lot of the riders when we're out there, like, because I mean, you never just riding in the street, even racing, like you never know when you're gonna go down. You never
Exactly.
know, and people always say, "Oh, I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna fall. I've never fallen before." Doesn't matter. Like any day could be that day. So please take care.
100%.
Right, take care of the dome. Take care of the dome, because the dome will get you back home. I
Yeah,
like coming
that's
over a little. I just coined that phrase. I just did that.
I support it. I like it. I'm gonna start spreading that in the race scene.
Right, right. Take care of the dome so you can make it back home.
Yep.
That's right. So I'm gonna look back in here one more time. Oh, real quick, because I know we've been asking a lot of questions. I was asking this question low key, not saying anything, because we're gonna do a little giveaway, and I want you to pick the guest. I guess I should have said the names, because you can't see the comments, huh?
No, my comments have been like stuck. Literally, the last one that I could see was from Julian the Jaybird, and it was just him saying LMAO. So I can't see anything. The viewers have been stuck the whole time, like all of that
Oh, really?
stuff.
Okay. All right. So I'll do this one for the giveaway, because there's been one particular person who's been hitting me with a lot of questions. So I think I'm gonna shoot this giveaway to them. I was gonna let you pick based upon who you saw was like really engaging with the questions and stuff like that. And every time I've looked, and a lot of the questions that I read came from this one particular person. So this is I have a picture of the giveaway because it's not with me,
Okay.
but it's in all race fashion. This is our giveaway for tonight. It is a race plate. There it is. See
Heck
if I can
yeah.
zoom in. Hopefully it don't rotate. Yep, it's gonna rotate. So I'll rotate it just slightly, but right there you see it.
Yeah.
2000. Let me just read it. 1977 to 2017. So 40 years of radness. This is a 40-year anniversary SC race plate. You see that? And the red grips, the red SE grips. You see it
Heck
as a little
yeah.
glare.
Hey,
So
shout out to Sticker Bubble. If you guys need some custom insert plates for that, for whoever gets the giveaway, hit up
yes,
Sticker Bubble.
yes,
They'll get you dialed. Their stuff's long lasting.
yes.
Just Sticker Bubble all the way.
Yes, shout out to Sticker Bubble. I know that's Wet Paint Larry's favorite. He uses them for everything.
Nick,
So yeah,
Nick
man.
takes good care of us, man. He's
Yeah.
a good sponsor for sure, all the way.
So shout out to Sticker Bubble. So this giveaway here, I want to shoot it. I don't want to say the name because the name is so derogatory.
Uh-oh.
But I see who it is, and I don't want to say the name, but
What?
the last name,
no.
so there's 4 letters in front of it. The last 4 is DERP, derp.
Mr. Derp.
It's got a different first name.
I love Mr. Derp.
No, okay, so it's not Mr. Dirt, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I do at least. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so it's like it starts with the F.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's
So
why
yeah,
I just said Mr. Derp.
okay, all right. I
Gotta
just want
keep
to
it
make
PG
sure.
for the kids.
Yeah, exactly. So first name, it starts with the F, and the last 4 is DERP. So we will most definitely get this out to you, bruh. So shout out to you, bruh.
I think he'll like it.
Hopefully.
I don't know if he'll put it on his 20, but I think he'll like it.
Hey, he got it coming. So yeah, man. So you got that, Mr. Dirt, Mr. Dirt. that would be for you right there. So let's see. Did he shoot a comment at the bottom? He's still in there, but Mr. Dirt for the win. Yeah, somebody.
He was actually there the night that I raced Superman.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yep.
so you saw the whole thing. Oh, you know what? And that's why I picked him, because as I was talking about it, I could see him putting in the comments. He was like, "No, he got smoked or something like that." He was all in the bottom. So he's been active in the comments throughout this whole thing. So I was like, "All right, man. I think he's deserving." You know what I mean? So most definitely, you got that coming. And this right here is brought to you courtesy of one of our own. Right here, this is from Josh Mathis. Okay, so this gift is been provided to you by us from Mr. Josh Mathis. He's in the comments as well. Shout out to Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Good guy. So yeah. So you got anything else you want to add or shoot out or give a shout out about for? I'll let you have it.
Definitely want to give a shout out to my parents for all of the support throughout the years, because I definitely wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing without them. That's right. Huge thanks to them. Huge thanks to everyone in general who supports me and who's been here throughout this whole journey, because I know it's been a little bit scary throughout the crashes and things like that, but all of you guys really stay true to yourselves and always support me and things like that. So I do appreciate that a lot. That's right. Shout out to the small businesses in Redlands who be keeping it going and always be keeping me stylish for the clothing ones, Nectar Clothing. I do want to thank Barcata and Heavy Hitters for welcoming me to like Bike Life, same with Outsiders and LA Riders, and all of you guys who have really made me feel at home with the ride out scene, since I am a racer and I wasn't really sure what it was going to be like going into this.
Right.
On top of that, I want to thank my home track, Grand Prix BMX, for giving me somewhere to ride. And overall, just thank you to everyone who was here tonight and who supported me. And huge thanks to you for hosting this amazing live, along with the Outsiders. Yeah. I appreciate you guys having me on for my first ever podcast. Yes.
Hey, hopefully we can have you back soon, and we can talk about, what else is going on and
yeah, that would be awesome.
Life. And then also, I see that Sticker Bubble just jumped on, so shout out to Sticker Bubble.
Hey, Nick, I got you, broski, all the way.
Yeah. Shout out to all the sponsors. Shout out to Box. Shout out to Jump in There. Who am I missing? We're missing Daylight. Shout out to Fast
House, all the way.
Fast House. Shout out to who's on the grips again?
Census Grips, Avian, HT Components, Shimano, all of you guys for making sure that my bike stays dialed and be looking fresh. E6 Components, especially for those awesome carbon wheels. Those are beautiful, by the way.
Yes. So shout out. And Sticker Bubble, we see you. He said he's got to get you the new version of that sticker.
Hey, I literally saw him post that right before I hopped on here, and I was like, damn it, Nick. I was like, I just designed my water bottle. Hey, he got pins too, so for everyone watching, make sure to go get yourself a Sticker Bubble pin.
Oh, yeah, and I thought I brought them with me. I guess I didn't. Darn it. Okay. I had some of ours as well. I was going to
really?
Put some of our stickers, but I guess I left them in the. Oh wait, no. I got some of them. I didn't grab the other ones, but also we have ours. So we're running this hashtag. So whenever you see an outsider, just pull up next to them and tell them to slap you. Okay? They're gonna give you a sticker. They're not gonna hit you, but they already know. So we're running this hashtag.
I wouldn't want to
that's how you get the sticker. You pull up and say slap me, and they're gonna get you one of these right away. So I always tell everybody, just, if you see me outside, pull up on me, even tell me, slap me, and then I'm going to slap you with one of these stickers. I will not hit you, and I expect not to be hit as well. That's how we run in that.
I feel like that's a good trade.
Yeah, right? See? We've been running this little hashtag now, just, something different, instead of, can I get a sticker, just pull up and say, slap me, make it real easy. So
that sounds more hardcore, too. Seems very, it's very some insider stuff right there. Just
right. So we've been running that. Let's see. Anybody else got anything else for Miss Kylie before we get her out of here? I know it's Friday night. We're not going to keep her all night. So anybody else got anything else for Kylie before we end this and let her go? Anybody? Shoot it out. Hurry up.
One last time too, you guys, if you guys think of any questions after the fact, even after this live's been posted, always feel free to hit me up if you have any questions about joining BMX or even the Ride Out life or just bike life in general. Hit me up. I have some good tips and things like that. I wouldn't want to make you guys have to learn from scratch and the hard way, because if you can already bypass some steps, I would do that personally.
Right. Man, you got a lot of love out there. You got a lot of support out there. We just want to say, keep it going. We're here for you. Anything you need, or, even if it's not a ride out, you can always hit up one of us and be like, hey, are you guys doing a ride out? I just want to get out and ride. Even if it's like a Wednesday and you're like, I just want to get out and ride and nobody is doing a ride right now. Are you guys free? Somebody from our crew will pull up. I promise you, because somebody is always trying to get out and ride. So we'll throw something together real fast. Like, let's get out and ride. Like we do it a lot of times. We'll just be in our group chat and somebody say, hey, who's riding? We're like, any rides? We're like, no rides tonight. But they're like, well, let's get together and ride. Then bam, we all pull up and we'll do a ride. So, anytime you want to get out, you can always hit up one of the outsiders. I'm sure Barkada always got rides going. I see they got rides always going. So
yeah, they're always ready to go.
Yeah. So yeah, man, most definitely. Also, just keep that encouragement going. Just keep the motivation going. You're so like full of life and just excited about, what it is you're doing. So just make sure every day you wake up, just know that that's a blessing and know that I'm doing this, but never take that for granted. You know what I mean?
100%.
I think sometimes people get like complacent, or they just feel like, okay, I've been doing this so long, it's just like second nature to me. But never get to that point. Just always know, hey, every day, treat it like it's my very first day of racing and just go all out for it,
Yes, all the way. Also,
yeah.
I just thought about it when you mentioned Barkada. I promised him I'd do this, so I want to give a huge shout out to Art Rico. He doesn't know what I'm going to shout him out for. I just told him I was going to do it. But I want to thank you for being so inclusive the first time that I met you at the Christmas Ride Out back. I want to say it was 2019, because it was pre-COVID. But I remember the first time I met Art, I was like, I'm so going to get one of those stickers one day, and I'm so going to get one of those jackets one day. And ever since then, he's been like an uncle to me, and I really do appreciate it. He's been so nice to me, and he's always taking care of me on the ride outs and things like that. So thank you, Art Rico, for doing that for me, and for all the other riders who joined Barkada and who are always at the Barkada ride outs.
Yes, sir. Y'all hear that? Shout out Art Rico. Shout out Barkada. Hey,
I know he's going to listen to this later and be like, Kylie, but it's okay.
So yeah, man. So there it is. We went through everything. We talked about bikes. We talked about bike life. We talked about race life. We talked about training life. We talked about just normal life. I think we covered everything. You got anything else?
I feel like that was everything. I feel like all these people know my whole life now.
There we go. And that's how we want them to do. We want them to feel like they know more of you. So when they see you out there, they're like, oh yeah, I remember she was on the podcast. She does X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Now, you know what I mean? We're cheering for her even more because people know you now. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's kind of why we started. It's a little bit more personal. Yeah.
Right.
And I feel like hopefully people are able to kind of relate a little bit more now and see like, it's not like all glam and stuff. Like
Right, exactly. And that was the whole reason for us when we started this podcast, just to shine light on those who don't have for those who do have the big platforms, and then for those who don't have the big platforms. We want to shine light on everybody, all in between, on high spectrums, low spectrums, in between, just coming up, been up, on everything.
Yeah.
We just want to talk to everybody and give them their flowers while they're here, man, because we don't get that a lot, and after you're gone, then that's it. So we want to give it to you while you're here, while you can still smell them.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I think this whole thing is really awesome, yeah.
Nice, thank you. So that's it, you guys. That's our show. We got Kylie on. You guys stay with us next week. We will have Rex in the building from I'm drawing the blank. Hold on, drawing the blank. I do that a lot. Mm-hmm. Big Worm. There it is. There it is. I'm drawing a blank, but I got the blank back. So
There we go.
yeah, next week we will have. I need like no. I'm gonna start writing these notes down. But next week we'll have Rex on the show from Big Worm Bike Shop. So y'all stay tuned for that. If you don't have anything else, Kylie, I'm gonna let you go.
Perfect.
We're out of here.
Thank you guys for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
All right, and we'll see you out there on 2 wheels.
All right. Bye. Thank
All right.
you.
Bye. So there it is, man. Another show down for the books. All the sponsors, if you guys tapped in, we appreciate you guys. All the viewers, all the questions, everything that you guys shot to us, man, we appreciate it. We want to say thank you again to Don's. Don's is our main bike shop that we rolling with. So if you guys need a bike, please tap in with Don's. They got everything that you need. If they don't have it, they can find it and they can get it for you. Vita Coco, if you guys are watching, I'm gonna need a sponsorship because I drink this stuff all the time and I love it. Other than that, you guys know the slogan. If you guys see us out and about, pull up on us, say slap me, and we will most definitely slap you down with one of our slaps. Also, October 29th, meeting at the Staples Center. We will be hosting a ride. Jam and Jerry will be hosting that ride. Also, my B-Day birthday ride, Halloween costume ride. We got giveaways. We got cash prize giveaway for the best costume. So if you guys ain't doing nothing, pull up on us. We will be out there at the Staples Center, meeting up at about 6:30, 7 o'clock. We'll roll out at 8 o'clock sharp. Also, this coming Tuesday on the 18th, we will be in Moreno Valley for the Outsiders Takeover Tuesday for Moreno Valley. We'll be meeting at the Moreno Valley Mall. The flyer is up. Check the flyers. And then also, again, next week, we got Rex in the building from Big Worm's Bike Shop. So, yeah, man. Again, my name is Daily Night Rider, a.k.a. Can I Live? If you guys like what you heard and heard what you like, shoot me that follow, bro. Daily Night Rider. Other than that, we are out until we see you again on 2. And that's the show. Peace.